Welcome to Fast Track Your Career in Yachting. My name's Roger Overall. I work with Yachting Financial Solutions, and with me today is Teresa Evans, a Director of Yachting Financial Solutions and also a founding partner of the YIFSOL Partnership. Teresa, hello.
Hello, Roger. Nice to be here.
So in this episode of Fast Track Your Yachting Career, we're going to be talking about how to break free from the golden handcuffs of yachting. Let's just look at this concept of golden handcuffs first. What is that?
Okay, so you have a very good disposable income, most people in yachting. And so what can happen is that people get, understandably so, quite caught up in the whole glamour of the thing, lots of money that they can spend every month, and they do. And so, of course, the more you spend and the less you save, the less possibility you have really to move on to the next stage of your life. And to an extent, it's possibly encouraged because you see a lot of your friends going off and spending money and buying nice items of clothing or watches or whatever it is. And so it's very easy to spend that money. But then you don't have any financial basis for your exit plan. So how can you actually leave? It's very tough.
And as you say, it's very understandable.
I think, Roger, that quite often the more you've got available to spend, the more you spend. That's to an extent human nature. And I think the other thing that you have to think about very clearly if you're yacht crew is you aren't one of the owners of the boat or indeed a guest. You are basically part of their support team. So you are working for them. You are not super rich. And you need to always have that in the back of your mind. And I guess one of the best ways to avoid getting caught up in that, but still obviously enjoying yourself, is to pay yourself first every month.
Teresa, can you explain that concept?
It's all based on human nature. What a lot of us do, and I would have certainly have done this in the past as well, is we may say to ourselves something like that, oh, well, whatever money I've got left at the end of the month, I'll save that.
So recognizable.
Yes. And we all do this. And of course, most of us never have any. So the way to avoid that is to, in inverted commas, pay yourself first. What that means is you have worked out for your financial plan, if you like, how much you are going to save each month. So each month, before you start doing anything else with your money, you save what you have decided to save. Let's say, for example, you earn, let's say, $4,000. You might be saying to yourself, okay, I am saving $2,500 a month. That $2,500 goes into your savings automatically each month. You then spend the rest of your money as you want.
Well, part of this discussion about freeing yourselves from the golden handcuffs is viewing money as less important than time. So that you're looking at, okay, well, what is the most important? What's the most valuable thing that I have in my life? Oh, yes, money is important. Money is valuable. But it's not as important or valuable as time because you can't make more time.
Exactly. Money is replaceable, isn't it? Whereas time absolutely isn't.
The corollary of that is your time in yachting is also limited.
Indeed.
It's really reframing things. There's an interesting discussion because with that comes that change in mindset. Sort of the cracks are starting to appear in the handcuffs because the handcuffs are there because of money. The handcuffs are there because of a luxury lifestyle or a very good high quality of living that you're able to fund through your career in yachting. But that's all spending money. And as soon as you start reevaluating what's important in life and that time is actually important and being able to spend your time how you want to, then the cracks start appearing in those handcuffs. They become a bit weaker. I suppose the question for you then, Teresa, is how do people make that shift?
I think there's two issues here. There's the issue that most people's career in yachting is not going to be whole of their working lives. And so it is very important while you have this great opportunity to build some serious capital to do that, because the majority of people will fairly early on in life, maybe after 10 or 15 years in yachting, be moving on to the next stage of their life. So by making sure that you have built an exit plan and you are saving money so that the point when you leave yachting, you are financially independent, Therefore, you are in control of your life. If you've become financially independent and you have the opportunity to continue in yachting and you still wish to do so, okay, fine. But equally, then you are still in the driving seat of your life. You're making that decision. You're not actually staying in the industry because you need the money. On the other hand, if you've decided at that point, well, actually, I want to now move on to the next stage of my life and do something else, then you're equally free to do that. So what this exit plan is allowing you to do is build your financial freedom so that you can move on to the next stage of your life on your own terms and then continue to live life on your own terms. And that is a tremendous thing to be able to do. And it would be a real shame to miss out on that opportunity.
I agree. And coming back to time being the most valuable thing that you have, if time is the most valuable thing you have, well, then isn't what Teresa has just outlined, the ability to decide how you use that valuable resource, that limited valuable resource, isn't that the best thing you could want out of your life? I certainly think so.
Absolutely. And in order to be able to do that, you are going to need to have built up a chunk of money. So that is why it is so important that you do that during your yachting career.
So let's just very quickly recap. It's almost like the 12 steps. You need to recognize you have a problem. You need to recognize the handcuffs are on. Then you need to recognize that actually you weren't put on this planet solely to spend all your time serving the ultra rich and making sure they have a fabulous time on board a yacht. You have other things that you can do to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. So in a way, you need a goal. I know after yachting is coming, so I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to have a goal. And then with that plan, as Teresa said, you will need a financial basis so that you can do the things, so you have that freedom. So you've bought yourself that freedom. So you need a goal, you need to build up the money with a plan, and very importantly, you need to take action. And I'll do a little plug, and I'm going to say the best bit of action you can take is set up a call with Teresa. I'm sure you won't disagree with me, Teresa.
Absolutely not, Roger. I would love to speak to anybody who would like to discuss how they could set up their financial plan and enable them to build up sufficient capital to move on to their dream or ideal life. And it's exciting. It's exciting and fulfilling. And as Roger said, nobody is put on this earth only to look after the welfare of other people. At some point, you should be able to move on to your dream life and be able to live that too.
And I think that is a fine sentiment to end this episode on. Thank you ever so much for listening. And do tune in again to the next episode of Fast Track Your Yachting Career. Until then, safe travels and safe sailing.
Bye-bye.